Rush Limbaugh, on his show today, decided to explain to the world what consent really is, because he would know. So, what is it? Is it, I don't know, maybe when somebody says yes? No, that's not the answer according to Rush Limbaugh.
Here's what consent is at Ohio State. After you and your partner decide that you're going to make out or have sex, you agree to do it, then you have to agree on why. Consent is the act of knowingly, actively, and voluntarily agreeing explicitly to engage in sexual activity. Consent must be freely given and can be withdrawn at any time. You have to be sober, not coerced, imaginative, enthusiastic, creative, wanted, informed, mutual, honest, verbal. The absence of no does not mean yes. It must be asked every step of the way. It cannot be implied or assumed even in the context of a relationship. Circumstances in which a person cannot legally give consent, no matter what he or she might say. The person is severely intoxicated or unconscious as a result of alcohol or drugs. The person is physically or developmentally disabled. The victim is under the age of 13 or is elderly. So as long as the girl's 13, she can give consent for sex, provided it's creative and enthusiastic. Consent must be freely given, can be withdrawn any time, and the absence of no does not mean yes. How many of you guys, in your own experience with women, have learned that no means yes if you know how to spot it? I'm probably, let me tell you something, in this modern world, that's not tolerated.
No means yes. You know what this shows you? It shows you where Rush Limbaugh's sympathies lie. That it's not with somebody who's a victim of a sexual assault or a rape. His gut reaction is always, well, she probably wanted it. What if no doesn't mean yes, Rush? Then what? Then what do we call that when that happens? You think you know because, oh, you're so bright, because usually 16-year-old horny boys are just so clear thinking all the time. And they just assume, oh, the way she said no was kind of like she was saying yes, even though she literally said no. But, so I had sex with her. Yeah. What if the no was really a no, Rush? Then what? What do we call that? We have a word for that. It's called rape. Just for clarity and just to be safe and just to be sure, why not abide by the simple idea that yes means yes, no means no? Is that a radical approach to the situation? See, to me, that appears to be a common sense approach to the situation. I mean, it's also kind of a tautology. If somebody says yes, they want it. If somebody says no, they don't want it. Are there fringe cases where there's role-playing where somebody would maybe do something like that? Yeah, but those are agreed to beforehand. How often does a situation arise in real life where somebody's really saying no and they actually do want it? I don't know of any. Look, I like to think I have a certain understanding of sexual situations. I've been around, and to me, it was always clear when there's a yes, when there's a no. There was never once. I mean, think about what kind of a man it would take to act on it if you hear no and you still want to go forward, right? Like, if there was ever a situation where a girl was uncomfortable going further with me, my body, shut off. You get this feeling of whoa, okay, all right, I respect boundaries, clearly, right? But what goes on in the mind of somebody like Rush where he blurs these things and tries to make the issue not what it is?